Good afternoon, and my name is Mary, and nickname is Mira. Welcome to the Bedtime Bible Stories. This book was written for children to be read to them, this bedtime stories. It's quite simple, but of course, adults are welcome to it as well. I am Egyptian Canadian, was born and raised in Egypt for 22 years. Then I came to Canada, and now we are during the lockdown for the coronavirus or COVID-19. And I had a message to share those wonderful words with the rest of you. So I hope you will be enjoying this, but please forgive me if some of the words I read it wrong, as English is my second language, Arabic is my first. So I'm really challenging myself in reading those stories in English. Okay, today I'll be sharing with you the second day or the second chapter, and it's called Adam and Eve Disobey God. And the reference to it is Genesis chapter 2, verses 15, starting 15 to chapter 3, verses 24. For a time, we don't know how long Adam and Eve were at peace in their beautiful garden. They did just as God told them to do, and they talked with God as a man would talk with his friend. And they did not know of anything evil or wicked. It was important for Adam and Eve to understand that they must always obey God's commands. So God said to Adam and Eve, "You may eat the fruit of all the trees in the garden except one. In the middle of the garden is a tree with fruit on it that you must not eat and must not touch. If you eat the fruit of that tree, you will die." Now among the animals in the garden there was a snake, and this snake said to Eve, "Has God told you that there is any fruit in the garden you are forbidden to eat?" Eve answered the snake, "We can eat the fruit of all the trees except the one that stands in the middle of the garden. If we eat the fruit of that tree, God says we must die." Then the snake said, "No, you will not die. God knows that if you eat the fruit of that tree, you will become wise as wise as he is. For you will know what is good and what is evil." Eve listened to the snake, and then she looked at the tree and its fruit. As she saw it, she thought it would taste good. And if it would really make her wise, she would like to eat it, even though God had told her not to. She took the fruit and ate it, and then she gave some to Adam, and he ate it. Adam and Eve knew they had done wrong by not obeying God's words. And now, for the first time, they were afraid to meet God. They tried to hide themselves from God's sight among the trees of the garden. The Lord God called and said, "Adam, where are you?" Adam said, "Lord, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid, and I hid myself." God said, "Why were you afraid to meet me? Have you eaten the fruit of the tree I told you not to touch?" Adam said, "The woman you gave to be with me gave me some of the fruit, and I ate it." Then God said to the woman, "What have you done?" Eve said, "The snake told me it would do me no harm, and so I took some of it and ate it." Then the Lord God said to the snake, "Because you have led Adam and Eve to do wrong, you shall no more walk like other animals. You shall crawl in the dust and the dirt forever. You will hate the woman, and the woman will hate you. You will try to kill her and her children, and they shall try to kill you." Then the Lord God said to the woman, "Because you led your husband to disobey me, you shall suffer and have pain and trouble all the days of your life." And God said to Adam, "Because you listened to your wife, when she told you to do what was wrong, you must suffer. You must work for everything that you get from the ground. You will find thorns, and thistles, and weeds growing on the earth. If you want food, you must dig and plant and reap and work as long as you live. You came from the ground, for you were made of dust, and your body shall go back into the dust when you die." Because Adam and Eve had disobeyed the word of the Lord, they were driven out of the beautiful Garden of Eden that God had made as their home. They were sent out into the world, and to keep them from going back into the garden, God placed his angels before its gate with swords that flashed like fire. So Adam and his wife lost their garden, and no man has ever been able to go back to it since then. And that was the word of the Lord. Now there are some discussion questions. I will read it to you, and it's up to you if you wish to answer it and review it with your children. The first question says, "What did God tell Adam and Eve, and why?" The second, "What did the snake say to Eve?" Number 3, what did Eve and Adam do? What, and number 4, what did God say to them? What did he do? And number 5, and last one, how do you think God felt about this? How did Adam and Eve feel? And that was the end of the second chapter. Thank you for listening. Have a blessed day. Bye for now.